Hi, I'm Charity Majors, and thank you for joining me on this video series on finding flow, syncing your life and business with your menstrual cycle and lunar cycle. And like I have said in a couple other videos, so if you guys haven't necessarily seen them, make sure that you check out the rest of the videos in this playlist where I go through all of the different phases as well as a great overview. But in this video, we are going to be talking about phase 4. And if you are new to this concept, maybe this video popped up in your sidebar on videos to watch or videos to check out. If you're new to this is an amazing concept that allows us as women and even educates men on how to be able to utilize the power of our menstrual cycle and what happens internally, hormone-wise and energy-wise, and how we can plan accordingly. Now, most women, we are synced with certain aspects of the moon. And again, if you are just joining me, you've seen, or might be new to you, and if you have seen the other videos, you guys, I know you love my super high-tech little whiteboard here, but we have gone over phase 1, which is menstruation, and most women actually are in what's called winter in this phase 1 during a new moon. So this is like when the moon is super small in the sky, and it's kind of this contracted light energy, but it's when the moonlight expands, and so then by the time we get to phase 2, which is after menstruation, is spring. And then we get to summer, right? Ovulation, which most women ovulate on the full moon, right? A lot of babies are born on full moons. So now we are talking about phase 4. So this is considered fall or PMS. So premenstrual, like our body's kind of gearing up for menstruation. And so I'm going to go over the different ways that your body will respond and how you can best utilize this energy and what's going on internally. So phase 4, like I said, it is fall. And if you think about fall and imagine with me for a second, leaves are kind of turning colors. There might be a little crisp in the air. You might kind of want to curl up a little bit, but I know for me, I live in Idaho, and so mornings and evenings are crisp. So I like to kind of bundle up in like the scarves and get the pumpkin spice latte. But then during the day, it still is super fun, and we're riding bikes and the sunshine and it's still warm. And so this is the same thing for what happens with your body. It's kind of this fluctuation, and it's because your hormones are fluctuating a little bit. And so hormonally, we kind of see this ebb and flow of estrogen and progesterone and testosterone. And so that's where even some of the symptoms, that if you experience symptoms with your menstrual cycle, where whether it's cramping or we get crabby or irritable, which, by the way, these are not necessarily needed when it comes to PMS. And so as you do find your flow, as you do sync your life to these different concepts and ideas, you'll actually find that some of these things can start to go away. So what's really fun about phase 4 or fall is this is a lot more about honoring what you are, the days where you have high energy, which is typically at the beginning of the phase. And then as you get closer towards menstruation, we start to, and even with the moon, right, like we talked about, most women, this is typically a full moon, but the light and the energy starts to contract and get darker and darker and darker and darker. And so same thing with your energy. As you're kind of going through this phase, we start to get a little bit more introverted. We start to get a little bit more inward facing and lower energy. And so this is a good time to, again, start off the phase 4 or fall with high energy. You're still going to be able to be out and about. It's still a great time for ideas, for learning. It's also a really good time for stillness and to slow down a little bit. And this is part of where it comes in honoring, either the beginning of the phase or towards the end of the phase before going into menstruation. And so this is a great time to, again, review what's working in your life and what isn't, and then complete things on your to-do list. So if you are a good list checker offer like me, this is a great time to make sure that, okay, like I've wrapped up the projects, or I'm checking off all the things. You're going to feel really, really empowered when you do that during this time. And then just so that you guys know, hormone-wise, estrogen and progesterone and testosterone, this is where they're at their highest peak concentration, and they kind of ebb and flow a little bit, and they're kind of, you know, doing some things inside your body before bleeding begins. And so your brain chemistry is actually optimized for task and detail orientation. And then also bringing projects and things to completion. So this is a great time to finish things that you started maybe last week or 2 weeks ago when you were in your creative process of spring and summer. This is a great time to, okay, wrap up the writing or wrap up the project or wrap up the details for an event that you're planning. And then it's also, sorry, I'm just reading some of my notes here. Like I said, the first half of the phase, you'll have more energy to spend with others. And then as you get towards the second half of this phase, this is where you're going to start, your energy will start to go down, and where you will start to need to honor the time where not only collectively, if you are synced with the moon, that the energy is contracting, right? Because the moon light is getting smaller and smaller. And so then same thing with us, our energy is going to contract and get smaller and smaller, and we will need to be more inward facing to honor where we are at during this time. So it could be a time where maybe you launch something or create something, but again, those are going to be better suited in those spring and summer aspects of your phase compared to now, where this is kind of the time to dot the I's and cross the T's and to start to plan in your self-care as you get towards your menstrual cycle. So slow down a little bit. Bring things to completion, and then focus in again on that self-care. Speak up for yourself, say more or say no more often, and then set boundaries. Focus-wise, like I said, this is a good week for completing tasks and checking off items. So wrapping up what you've done the last couple weeks, and then make sure that you are carving out time and focus time to do projects and work and get it done. So this is a great time in your calendar, again, whether it's time blocking. It's not necessarily like in spring where it's more like, you know, like visionary and I'm doing some mind mapping and I'm dreaming and I'm in this creative process. This is more of a time to where it's like the things that you have dreamed and created of and started to put into practice, where you're like, okay, I'm going to wrap this project up. I'm going to finish this video series. I'm going to finish this batch blogging. And then what really feels great about this time is organizing. And so this might mean you are kind of, okay, I'm going to organize some things in my closet. I'm going to organize my workspace. I might be organizing my calendar a little bit more during this time. And so then just focusing in on that completion aspect of things. As far as exercise, again, during the first part of the week, you still might have that higher energy coming off of summer. And so you can still have more energy to burn. And then as it slows down, you can kind of start with slower strength training. So still pushing yourself, still using energy within your body. Then as you slow down, then it may transition in the second half of the week to maybe a more intense yoga. So maybe an intense vinyasa or an intense Pilates, where it still is a slower motion, but it's not necessarily like spring and summer where you're doing Zumba or a dance class or a soul cycle or something like that. And then as you get towards the end of it and go into menstruation, that's where we can kind of slow down with things like yoga, a rest day, a walk, being in nature. Yin yoga is a great option for that. And then as far as foods, because your body is preparing to release its menstrual cycle, right, the uterine lining, make sure that we are also nurturing your body and giving your body what it needs in preparation for that. So make sure that you are fueling your body with vitamin B rich nutrients to help get rid of sugar cravings, or to help kind of hold them at bay. Because how many of you guys like, I know I'm gonna love some chocolate during this time, during PMS. And so actually vitamin B, whether it's a supplement, whether it is adaptogens, or I know I have an amazing vitamin B drink that I drink. And so this helps stave off sugar cravings. And then eat leafy greens to boost your calcium and magnesium while reducing fluid retention. So I know you guys, if you get the bloat, if you get the, like your rings get, stuck, or, they start to come off a little bit, or they get stuck a little bit more, leafy greens can really help make sure that you are not retaining water, as well as another great little supplement is dandelion root. So grab that from your local health food store. And then also things like roasted or baked root vegetables that actually help your liver and your large intestine flush out estrogen more efficiently. So it's going to just help with some of those PMS symptoms, and just really help balance out those hormones that can kind of do this a little bit. So sexually, part of this is you're going to feel, again, high energy in the beginning, and then as you get towards the end of this phase, again, you might be more inward facing. So still have fun sexually in that first phase, feel sensual, have high energy, but then also honor that you might need to slow down. It might be more candlelight, and it might be more of a love-making session compared to whether it's more high energy or more exploratory things that happen in other seasons. So honor where you're at. Make sure that your partner is romancing you during this time, and then your body will then be preparing for the season in your body of menstruation. So then collectively, again, this is the time where the moon light starts to contract a little bit. So collectively, energy is going to be lower, and this is not, again, the time to launch the thing, to create the thing, to necessarily be at all the social events towards the end of your phase 4. So start to plan your calendar according to that and say, okay, where am I at? What do I have going on? And what's going to honor where my body is at internally, as well as what is going to honor what's going on collectively with the moon cycles. So again, I hope that you guys are finding value in this information. I hope that you are finding flow within your life, within your business, within your relationships. And I would love to hear from you. If you are implementing these strategies in your life, I want to hear about it. I want to hear how things are improving, how things are feeling like that you're not pushing a boulder uphill anymore, like you're not fighting against this resistance, which I know sometimes in society, how it's always go, 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 do, 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 achieve, 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 Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, like it doesn't matter how you're feeling kind of thing. It's a very masculine achieving energy compared to honoring where we are at as women. And so again, if you're finding benefit in finding flow in your body with these strategies and within your life, within your business, with your relationships, I would love to hear about it. So feel free to ping me on my website, charitymajors.com, or shoot me over a message or a DM on all social media. Charity Majors, you'll find me, all sorts of fun stuff going on. So like I said, I hope that you guys are finding value in this. And I do have one more favor to ask. I can't be the only one that is getting this message out, because I have a bigger vision that collectively that society can start to honor this flow of things that happens with women, which are obviously, we are over half of the population collectively in the world. And so imagine with me for a second that if the world could start to honor this type of flow and honor and get in sync with this powerful force that goes on with for us as women, as well as with the moon cycles. Because for us as women, we are actually we're designed to really be in tune with the moon and to be that reflective light. And so I just want to honor you again for watching this series, for sharing, for subscribing, for liking, and then for letting me know how you are finding flow in your life with these strategies. If you guys have questions, let me know. Feel free to say hi, friend me, ping me, follow me. Let's be friends. Let's find flow together. And I hope that you guys have an amazing day. I will see you next time.